Good evening. Tonight I'm going to talk to you about relaxation exercises to promote healthy aging and brain health. A couple of weeks ago, I talked about the effects of stress on the brain and ways that you can minimize the impact of stress. So if you missed that, you can go back and check out the replay. It is on my page. Also, if you have not already done so, grab my free relaxation guide. It'll be posted in the comments under this video. Also, there will be a separate post for the relaxation guide where you can grab it. It teaches you about stress, worry, and anxiety and how they can have an effect on you. It also teaches you some simple strategies that you can use to manage stress pretty quickly, and they're pretty effective. So I had to postpone this week's video because I was traveling last week because of my birthday, but I'm back. So today I'm going to teach you 2 simple ways to reduce stress, which in turn will have positive effects on aging. So the first way that you can reduce stress is through meditation and mindfulness. So a lot of problems that we have are the result of us focusing too much on things that happened in the past, or things that went wrong, or things that we wish would have happened differently, and we call that rehashing. Or we may be focusing too much on things that we think may happen in the future, or worrying, and we call that rehearsing. Now, it's good to obviously think about things that happened in the past, and if there's something to learn from that, that's great. But the problem comes in when we get stuck there. So you don't want to get stuck there. Same for the other end of the spectrum. You don't want to spend too much of your time and energy focused on worrying about what might happen. Because even if we plan for all possible scenarios for a certain issue or event or whatever encounter that we anticipate having, a lot of times, even if we think of all possible scenarios that could happen and try to plan for those, even if it happens exactly the way that we anticipate it, we still may not feel fully prepared. So worrying about it really does not help to prepare you for it. So the way that you can avoid doing too much rehashing or too much rehearsing is to learn how to practice mindfulness. And what mindfulness is, it is being in the present moment, being curious about the present moment and what's going on, and doing that without judgment. And that can be challenging. It sounds very simplistic, but it can be challenging. But if you're focused on what's going on in the present moment, you can't be preoccupied with things that happened in the past, and you cannot be worried about things that may happen in the future. So learning how to practice mindful meditation can be helpful. And actually, mindfulness and meditation can create physical changes in the brain through a process called neuroplasticity, which is the brain's way of changing and reorganizing constantly throughout your life based on the experiences that you have in your lifestyle. So it's the brain's way of adapting to the things that you're experiencing. And as that's happening, new neural connections are being formed. So it's pretty fascinating that our brains are able to do that. And meditation helps to preserve the aging brain. And some of the studies have shown that it only takes about 8 weeks actually to see any changes in the brain, particularly changes in the shape of the brain and the gray matter that's found in the central nervous system that makes up most of the brain's neuronal cell bodies. And this type of tissue is particularly important because it's responsible for things like muscle control, sensory perception, self-control, decision making, emotions, and memory. So mindfulness is helpful for all of those things. So it also can help to activate a certain part of the brain that helps you to have more empathy and compassion. So meditation can be amazing for the brain. It also causes the brain to release certain brain chemicals that are called neurotransmitters, and those neurotransmitters, they help to regulate the balance of some vital hormones. And there are some studies that show that meditation can directly impact the level of some very important neurotransmitters such as serotonin, which is sometimes referred to as a feel-good chemical. It helps to regulate the mood. It can affect the stress hormone. It helps to decrease the stress hormone cortisol. It also increases a hormone called endorphins. You may have heard that before. That is released in response to pain or stress. It's the brain's natural painkiller. That's what sometimes it's referred to. Meditation also boosts something called melatonin, which is helpful for helping you to get restful sleep. And it also helps to regulate mood as well. So at the end of this talk, which this will be a short talk today, I will walk you through a brief meditation in just a few minutes. So just stick with me to the end. The second type of relaxation exercise I want to tell you about that is helpful for managing stress and promoting healthy aging is breathing exercises. You may hear it called breathing exercises, breath work, and I will talk about one particular breathing exercise shortly. But breathing is something that we all do naturally, but most of us don't do it in a way that we get the most benefit out of it. So one thing I don't think I've mentioned since I've been doing this series is that in addition to being a licensed psychologist, I'm also a registered yoga teacher. And one of the things that was emphasized during my yoga teacher training was the importance of the breath and how we can get benefits from it if we help to guide it through our bodies in a certain way. And so I want to teach you a simple breathing exercise that you can do to help to relieve stress whenever you're feeling, like you might need that. Now, if breathing exercises are practiced regularly, they can, help you in general to relax. So they may help you in the moment to relax, but if you practice it on a regular basis, it's going to help you in general to feel more relaxed and more prepared to deal with some of those stressful situations. It also helps to increase the oxygen level in the blood and reduce your heart rate and your blood pressure. So now, I mentioned this was going to be a short talk, and it is. So now we're at the point of the exercises. So the first thing that I want to teach you is a breathing exercise. It's really a breathing and movement exercise that you can do. Is very, very simple. It's called high five breathing, and you can do it and nobody know that you're doing it. So I'm going to hold my hand up like this somewhere so that you can see it, but you don't have to hold your hand up while you're doing it. You can, have your hands here, you can have your hands in your lap, and nobody would know. But I'm going to hold my hand up like this just so you can see. So you will start here, and you're going to outline your hand. And as you're outlining your hand, you will inhale and then exhale as you come down. Inhale and exhale. So I'm going to show you. So starting here, you would inhale, 2, 3, 4, exhale, 2, 3, 4. Inhale, 2, 3, 4. Exhale, 2, 3, 4. Inhale, 2, 3, 4. Exhale, 2, 3, 4. Inhale, 2, 3, 4. Exhale, 2, 3, 4. Inhale, 2, 3, 4, and exhale, 2, 3, 4, and come all the way back around. And you do that a few times until you feel like you are calmer or calm enough to proceed with whatever it is that you were doing before. So it's that simple. And if you want, you can do one hand then do the other, or you can just stick with one hand. But that is high five breathing. Okay? So I want you to practice that over the next week. So the next time you notice that you're starting to feel a little stress, I want you to say, I'm going to do high five breathing. Bring your hand up. Start inhaling, exhaling, inhaling, exhaling. But do it slowly like I did when I was going through the exercise. So now I'm going to walk you through a breathing exercise. Okay? And this is it's a meditation, a mindful meditation, but it also has a breathing component to it. You're focusing your attention on the breath. So it's more of a mindfulness meditation with the focus on the breath. So let's begin by taking a moment to allow the body to settle. Find a comfortable position that allows your spine to be long, but with a natural curve in the low back. You can close your eyes or keep them open and just soften your gaze downward just a few feet in front of you. Let your belly or abdomen and your shoulders relax. Okay. So today I'll guide you through a focused attention practice, focusing on the breath. This will help calm your mind and relax your body. Before we start, take a full breath in and a long breath out. Now allow the breath to find its natural rhythm, going in and out. Begin this practice by connecting with what draws you here. Maybe it's a wish for greater well-being for yourself and for others. Maybe it's a desire for some calm or rest. Now bring your attention to your breath. You may notice movement of the abdomen or maybe even the chest. You may also notice sensations of air passing at the tip of the nose, or sensations in the throat, or a sense of the whole body breathing. Wherever the sensation is most vivid for you, just allow your attention to rest there. And breathe in and breathe out. Can you notice the moment the inhale begins and how it continues? And notice the moment it ends. Can you notice the very moment that the exhale begins? And how it continues and how the moment ends? Is there a slight pause before the next inhale begins? Try to keep your attention focused through one complete cycle of breath. See if you can sustain your focused attention on the breath for another breath. Then another complete cycle of breath. When you notice your mind has wandered, just come back to this awareness of the breath. With gentleness, kindness, and without judgment. Allow the breath to be kind of a home base, an anchor for your awareness. Thoughts will come and thoughts will go. No need to push them away or to chase after them. When the mind wanders, just come back to the breath. Come back to this moment, right here, right now. Let's finish this focused attention practice now by taking a full breath in and a long breath out. Again, take another full breath in and a long breath out. And it's just as simple as that. Very simple meditation that you can do. So you can play this back and listen to it if you want. So I'm going to challenge you to try to practice mindfulness over the next couple of days. Think of a short task that you have to do, maybe writing an email or doing something like washing dishes, and try to remain fully engaged in that moment, having your attention fully focused on what you're doing at the time. And when you notice that your attention is wandering, your mind is wandering, just bring it back to the task at hand. And that's how you can start to practice mindfulness. If you feel like you don't have time to stop and sit and go through a guided mindfulness script, you can try to be mindful in your daily activities. Even when you're eating, you can say, okay, this is going to be a mindful meal, and slow down and really savor what you're eating. You may want to, name what it is that you're eating, what smells there are, what the texture is on your tongue. Um, those all of those things that help to engage you in the moment. All right. So I hope this is helpful. This is Dr. Melissa Green. I'm a licensed clinical psychologist and a registered yoga teacher. I will actually be back tomorrow since I postponed this video. So I'll be back tomorrow on Tuesday, starting the series for November. I will post the schedule on my cover. I think that's what it's called. The cover on my business page. All right. Have a good night. Take care.